Hey guys, this is Mihle. Welcome back to my channel. Whew. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for pressing on that link. I really do appreciate you. Like I said, my name is Mihle and we call this We Need to Talk. Today specifically, I want to talk about something that I'm constantly asked, right? So someone that knows me will know that I'm umuntu. I am umuntu that loves to read. Like whenever I'm at work and I get some time, just some downtime in between the show or before the show, people will see me and they'll be like, girl, how many books have you read this month? I actually recently got that one as well. Like, how many books are you on now? Like now, oh Pingo, are you on book 3 for the month? Like, how many books have you read actually since the year began? And that's a real thing to ask me, because sometimes ndiyafunda shem, and I won't lie, sometimes ndiyafunda for real, and I really put my back into it, and you'll find me going through maybe 4 books in 1 month, and then in some months, which is what's happening recently, I'll do 1 book a month, because I'm learning to not go so fast. Like, in the first part of this video, I want to address the question of why do I read so much? So I'm gonna keep looking down. I've got my notes here. I'm not ignoring you. It's just my notes. So the main reason why I read so much is because I feel like reading is actually so important for educational purposes. Like as a child, I remember that stage where I was learning to read, and it wasn't easy. You go from knowing your ABCs, and then you go into learning how they sound and using them with other letters, and then in grade 1, 2, you start reading short little books and can, the cat, could, those things. And I think that that foundation of knowing how to read sets you up in life. And I actually read because it keeps me on my toes, and I continue to learn, one, vocabulary, and two, I stay smart, if I can say. I get to use that muscle that was given to us all when we were around 6, 7, starting school. And I think it's so important to read. Like, I think especially as kids, we all used to read because you'd be in an English class and there'd be a teacher telling you we need to read. But guys, I don't think we are actually understanding the importance of really reading. Like, really just reading. Because if you can't read, a lot of the things aren't accessible to you. And I'm not sure of the statistics right now. Maybe I'll put them in right here. But in South Africa, we're not really good at reading. A large majority of people don't know how to read, and reading is a privilege. Like, I understand that. I know that in slavery times, black people were not allowed to learn how to read. And if you knew how to read, you would keep it a secret. Like, and you'd be killed because you know too much. So I understand that. Like, I understand that principle of reading is important, not just for, the vibes and whatever, but reading is important because we need to know how to comprehend things. Outside of the educational reasons, I like reading to be aware of other people's stories, right? There are biographies out there. I've read Viola Davis's biography. I've read Shonda Rhimes, Nelson Mandela. Oh my goodness. Like, the list is endless with the biographies that I've loved to read. And the reason why I love reading a biography and even watching biographies is also because I get to learn something about someone. And when I say that reading is about life awareness, is because when you learn about how someone else is living, it exposes you to it, right? I grew up in a specific way, but if you read about how I grew up, it's going to be new to you in most cases. You'll find that there are things that I did or I do that are coming across in the books that, wow, you really went through that, and it makes me see things differently and learn things differently. So that's really important, and nothing beats a book. Oh my gosh, nothing beats a book, because in a book you're gonna get the story from A to Z. Like, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get to M and N and O, and you're gonna understand why. Oh, okay. Because I think when people are writing, and authors, why they write is they really paint that picture for you so beautifully. Like, they really just paint the picture, and you see it so vividly, and you go into the house and you smell the aroma of the cooking, and you go dancing with them, and you fall in love with them. And I think that's a reason why I love reading romance novels, because the experience is like they milk every single moment. And it's one thing I like about books, and also K-dramas. K-dramas do that really well as well. So this is my story when it comes to reading. I grew up knowing very well how to read. Like I said, I learned when I was around 7 years old. I've always been an excellent reader. I always took joy in being the one where the teacher says, "Who wants to read?" Mihle does. And I've always been that person. When I got to university, so I went to Rhodes University in Grahamstown, Makanda. And when I was there in my second year, I took English literature as one of my subjects, and I ended up graduating in English in my BA, right? So reading was obviously a big part of English literature. You learned about the classics, you learned about romance, the romantics, all these African literature, all these beautiful genres, and types of literature. We learned about all of it. But the trick was with English, you had to learn that you had to read books like at a crazy fast level. And I get it, maybe I could have managed my time better, but it will always end up being where item iphela. That's when I would be reading these books, and I'd have like 3 days to read before the exam, and I'm like, now I'm just trying to get through it and trying to learn what's happening. And that taught me to read really fast, but it also taught me that I didn't want to read for a while. Like once I finished graduating, I was over reading. Like I was tired, I was done. So I went into the real world, and I think the first few years after varsity I wasn't reading that much, and then slowly I was inspired to start reading the likes of The Secret, the 5 a.m. clubs, but I was reading just casually at the time and not so seriously as I would say I am right now. And then, oh my gosh, I think late last year, 2023, like think of that, like since 2019 I've just been reading. I've always had a book, but it was only in 2013 that I finally, like, I realized that I love to read and it's my hobby, and I'm gonna stick with it. Like, I love reading, I love going into different worlds, I love exploring people's writing, and really going into different experiences and different things. So that's when I got into it. And the book that really got me back into reading was It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. And I mean, gosh, that book is about um, two lovers. It's almost like a love triangle, but I won't go into it in this video. Maybe if you're interested, I can do a review on it. Just let me know. Drop a comment in the comment section if you think that you'd like to see some reviews on this page and book reviews and things like that. Also, the one benefit that I loved about going back into reading, because I'm also a content producer, a radio producer. So when I got back into reading, it felt like I had tapped into so many people's minds, because with radio you need to be on the ground and where the people are, what are they saying, what's currently trending, what are they, and I don't want to look at social media to find my inspiration. I speak to people, but books also added this new dimension of depth. It added a new depth of like, what? This is what's happening in the real world, and I could source those things and bring them to the show, and I could take one idea and it leads me to another idea, and then we create magic on air. So yeah, books have really almost really changed my life, and my confidence. Like, I mean, look, here I am now. Here I am recording videos of myself because of books. Tips on how you can get started on reading. Tip number 1: find the genre for you. Like, find the genre for yourself. Like, do not think about, okay, oh, Mihle likes romance, let me read some romance. Think about exactly what makes you tick, and it took me a while to be like, I'm a romance girl through and through. Like, I love biographies and romance. I mean, biographies, it depends on who, and then romance novels, I mean, just give me some love. Like, give me love. Inject the love into my bones. Like, find the genre for yourself. Like, and don't fake. Don't try and read your crush's genre. Read your genre. Secondly, start easy and work your way up. Like, if you're someone who's not like able to read a 600-page book right now, you don't have to. Start slow. If you need to read short stories with some pictures in it because you love pictures. You know, nothing wrong with liking a picture. Or maybe you're younger, and you're just like, how do I get into it? But open a book and just start reading. Go into a library. Like, I used to love a good library session, and I remember I would take like 7 books home. Like, I've always been such a book nerd. I won't say academic nerd because Lord knows I really liked books. I would read books the entire festive season. I'd have like 7 books I'm reading, and I'd finish them and I'd take them back and get more. And it always excited me that I get to go into all these different worlds. So start easy, go easy on yourself, be patient, and just read. Even if you want to start with short stories, your genre. There's a series of books that I really love. It's called Chicken Soup. So when I was like in primary and high school, I was reading Chicken Soup. You'd get it for the soul, for the lovers, for the parents, for the grandparents, and it's just a series of writings based off of whatever genre or specific place you're in. So if it's for parents, you'd get parent stories. If it's for kids, you'd get kid stories. So those are short stories. So if you struggle to read like 100 pages at one go, those stories sometimes are 2-3 pages, and it just allows you to go in and find what you're looking for and find what you enjoy and play around with it. Another thing that I really love about reading is the peace of mind. Whew. I don't know when it was. It was, I think, in high school when a friend of mine and I were speaking, and she told me that I'm not able to read when I'm not like mentally just at peace. And I get that. Like when my mind is cluttered, I can't read. Like when my mind is all over the place, I can't read. I look at the pages, like I just keep turning pages over, but then I realize my mind, I don't even know what I was saying. So I want to say thank you so much to you for tuning into this video. I hope that you received great value in what we were talking about today. I want to encourage you to like this video, comment, please comment. I really want to hear what your thoughts are and what you take and what you're learning, and what you find really interesting. And also please subscribe and share this video with someone. Thank you guys. I don't know why I got all soft, and I think I'm just taking in this moment because I'm finally doing the things I said I'm gonna do, and I'm proud of myself for that. So thank you for tuning in. It's Mihle Bangs. I'll see you on the next video. Mwah.